So I'm not much of a football guy, but here in Washington, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. So, I'm like one of those Christians that goes to church once a year. But and I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but that tells you how much of a fan I am. But I did watch some of the other games at some restaurants, and they were fun. Everybody cheering on, and suddenly the whole place erupts, when a good play happens, etc. But me being who I am, I was bound to be more interested in the controversies surrounding the halftime show than in the actual game. Yeah, and so it's the typical bullshit that you're getting from the right. And just with the whole idea of setting up an alternative halftime show, and it's just like the kind of person who, makes moral outrage their kind of main thought process, just ends up being an incoherent person. I just think that actually is a rule of some sort, because it's like you just jump to conclusions. It's people who jump to conclusions very quickly, and then they don't ever come back from them. And I'm definitely being, painting with a broad brush. Obviously there are exceptions, but I'm just saying, there's enough people like this, and they seem to be in charge of things over down on the right side. And so what happens is, you make a superficial assessment of something, you draw a whole bunch of connections that may or may not be real, but you don't bother to actually look at it carefully, because that's just not how this works. You don't, careful consideration is in fact seen in some ways as a compromise. It's like, why would I sit down and have a considered evaluation of this, whatever it is that's horrible and bad? Even that is somehow bowing to it because it's just bad, and I'm not going to rot my brain and my morals by spending any time looking at it. See, so it all kind of goes hand in hand. If you think that something is horrible and morally corrupt, then by implication you shouldn't spend very much time looking at it, and therefore, or hearing it or whatever, and therefore you're never going to actually have an objective, accurate view of it. I mean, not never, just not a guarantee that you're going to have an accurate view of it. It's like the movies, that evangelicals have for decades now. They're always upset about some new movie that's coming out, and so you shouldn't go watch it, and everyone complains about it, and then the majority of the people who complain about it, they're just trusting somebody else who told them it was bad. And this is so typical across the board. I'm telling you, after 50 years of living in evangelicalism, this is signature. It's just signature. Some authority figure that you trust and you probably shouldn't trust tells you that something's bad, and you're just like, oh, it's bad, I must stay away from it. The idea of evaluating it for yourself and of having some kind of objective view of it, it's just, it doesn't fit. And so it is a kind of by definition thing, and I think that's really interesting. And so this all leads me up to the whole controversy surrounding the halftime show and Bad Bunny and whatnot. And there's two complaints. Maybe there's more, but it's this typical bullshit of it wasn't an American. It really comes across as racist. Oh, it was in Spanish, so it wasn't American. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know that Puerto Rico is part of the country, right? You do know that major cities are half or more Latinos, right? Miami, you can walk into just about any store in Miami of any kind and just speak Spanish, and people won't even blink an eye. They'll just talk back in Spanish. Los Angeles, Dallas, all these cities, they're like half Hispanic. Like, deal with it. Spanish is part of our culture. Fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why is this such a problem? Spanish, okay, now, full disclosure, I grew up in South America and I speak fluent Spanish, so, maybe I have a little bit of attitude about it. But I'm also, a sort of typical American as well. And obviously I speak fluent English. So, I just think it's stupid. Now, interestingly, like, culturally, I'm not, I don't necessarily have a lot in common with the Spanish speakers in the U.S. because I grew up in South America. Plus, I was born in the U.S., to a white family. And so, I've spent time in Mexico, but I didn't grow up in Mexico. So it's not really, I don't have a cultural affinity necessarily, but, I have respect and I enjoy it, of course. And I regularly eat at Mexican restaurants, which means nothing, I know. But anyway, so I digress. Okay, so I just wanted to point out a couple inaccuracies, along this model of what I just described, which is, first of all, they're complaining that the entire halftime show was in Spanish. It wasn't. The entire half show was not in Spanish. Like, that's just a lie. It's just completely false. Like, a significant portion of it was, yes, but there were also things in English. So what is wrong with you? Like, what these are people that, again, they didn't watch it. Somebody told them Bad Bunny's bad. It's kind of the low-hanging fruit right there. And and so they just, it's like lying. Like, what? So another typical thing, you lie in the defense of righteousness, or you are like so woefully incompetent and uninformed that it's essentially lying, and you're doing it in the name of righteousness, in the name of what is good. Don't you see that that's why do I have to explain that is a contradiction? Like, how stupid are you? Seriously. And I'm just saying, like, this whole religious morality bullshit, it rots your brain, it just makes you stupid because it gives you permission, or it intimidates you from actually engaging in facts, and it prioritizes and highlights problematic aspects of your thinking. Okay, the other one is the lyrics of the song. So the first complaint was we couldn't understand the lyrics. And, that is just like the most idiotic complaint I've ever heard. As I mentioned, I speak fluent Spanish. I couldn't understand the lyrics either. This is not the kind of music where understanding the lyrics is a priority. Come on. Like, rap and hip hop or even rock, not to mention death metal and heavy metal. Like, some genres, it's not really that much about the lyrics, okay? Or maybe it is about the lyrics, but like, you have to listen to it a whole bunch of times to get the lyrics. I literally had no idea what he was saying, and I speak Spanish. So you didn't miss out on anything, and I don't really think that if it was in English, you would have understood the lyrics and cared, okay? Come on, this is the most idiotic complaint. Unbelievable. Now, the other one is the complaint that the lyrics were immoral, okay? And this is another sort of, superficial, cliche assessment that is not based on facts. So let me just tell you the basic sort of outline of the story the lyrics tell. It starts out with a guy who's bragging about all the girlfriends that he's had, and all these women in his life, or not even in his life, but like, they just come and go. And there's a sexual implied, sexuality is implied, but it's not stated explicitly. And then the song shifts in the second half towards, don't fall in love with me, don't try to have a relationship with me because I'll let you down. And then the final line is, I don't want to be this way anymore. So it's actually, it's a very immoral song. Like, what, you're just like, the tennis match from hell. Like, what? Wait, why are you complaining about a song that's like basically promoting your values? What? Why? Why? Because it's in Spanish? Are you that superficial and just dense? Like, what? Why do I have to live in this world where stupid people are always getting attention for idiotic opinions? Like, that's my response. What the fuck? Can you just please go away? Go hide in a hole somewhere and complain to the rocks. They'll listen. Fuck, it's unbelievable. And I just wanted to mention, like, this is kind of a small detail, but I think important. In the song, okay, there was an interaction I saw online where, one of these self-righteous assholes was complaining about the content of the song, that it was, like, terrible, right? And immoral. And, of course, they would focus on the first half of the song, right? Again, just only jump to the one thing that you think is bad. Don't mention the context, don't mention anything else. And I gotta say, the English is a poor translation of the Spanish. And there's one line in particular which is a bit shocking, and you would think would put it over into the M category, like the mature category. So the English translation says, I met a girl, something like this. I met a girl from Barcelona. She came on a plane. She thought my dick was fire. Okay, which is a bit of a shocking line, honestly, for a open, wide audience, all audiences performance, even if in Spanish, and if obviously for the people that are listening in Spanish. Again, if they can't even understand the lyrics, so out of curiosity, I looked up the lyrics because I was just like, self-righteous asshole quoting that something's bad. There's a pretty good chance that he's not accurate. And so in Spanish, the line is a bit different. And I guess the main point is that it actually uses a euphemism, so it doesn't say dick. It says something about una chica or something, or I think it names a girl from Barcelona, de Barcelona, que vino en avión, que dijo que mi bicho era cabrón. So instead of dick, it's bicho, and bicho is bug, and that's it's a euphemism, okay? Yeah, it means dick, but it's a euphemism. And era cabrón, you might know the word cabrón, that's like just a statement of something's cool, right? And so, that has a different impact, I think, than she said my dick was fire. And that, like, the rest of the song doesn't have anything explicit. So honestly, the song comes off much better in Spanish, so too bad you couldn't understand the lyrics, you self-righteous moral asshole. And so, that combined with the fact that it is actually a moral message, I think, just completely contradicts all this nonsense. This moral outrage over this song. It's a good song. It has a good moral message. Let me know. What do you guys think? If any of you speak Spanish, I'd love to hear, your assessment of those lyrics, if you agree with me on that.